Afternoon, everyone, and we have finally reached our last episode for the webinar series for the Philippines, powered by the Department of Tourism and ADEX. We have very exciting speakers for you, but first, let me introduce the location. We will be covering Camiguin and Misamis Oriental, and with that, we have a very special guest. We have the Regional Director from the Department of Tourism of Region 10 or Northern Mindanao. Let us welcome Director Marie-Elaine Unchuan. Hello.
Hello, maayong hapon from Region 10 in Northern Mindanao in the Philippines.
Good afternoon.
Thank you very much.
We will start with a presentation from the director herself, followed by a video.
Okay, good afternoon to everyone. And we would like to thank the Asian Dive Expo for having us here and for this opportunity to share with you our treasure in the diving region. So let me just give you an overview of what we have to offer in our region in Northern Mindanao. First, I'm going to discuss about the tourism circuits and our destinations above the water. We do have several circuits. I will start with our Bukidnon Mountain Circuit. Bukidnon is one of our provinces in Northern Mindanao, and we have a mountain circuit featuring Mount Dulang-Dulang, Mount Kitanglad, Mount Maagnaw, Panimahawa Ridge, Mount Kalatungan, Lumapanag, and Kilakiron. This picture is one of our ridges. And of course, before the diving, if you want to go on the climbing first, you can have this option to go around. Okay, so we also have our other provinces. We have our Camiguin Island, Misamis Oriental, Misamis Occidental Mountain Tourism Circuits. Part of this tourism circuits are two of the ASEAN Heritage Mountains. So we recommend this if you want to stay longer and stay before the dive, you can go mountain climbing. Okay, for our Misamis Occidental and Misamis Oriental faith tourism circuits, we also have several shrines and several heritage churches across the region. Again, this is another faith tourism circuit for Bukidnon. We have the Divine Mercy Shrine. We also have seen in the picture the Abbey of the Transfiguration. It's a unique church created by our national artist. We also have our Lanao del Norte, Iligan, Muslim-friendly tourism circuit. One of our main programs in our region is Muslim-friendly travel, featuring culinary tourism, Muslim-friendly culinary tourism, and also a halal demo farm tour. For another province, Bukidnon, we have our farm and cultural tourism circuit. Bukidnon is known for the 7 tribes of Bukidnon, or indigenous peoples. So we have several farms, but the top farm there is the Binahon Agroforestry Farm, which features organic agriculture. We have our Talandig tribe, one of the 7 tribes of Bukidnon, for a cultural experience. We also have dairy farms, one of the biggest universities and top agricultural universities in the country. And we do also have a cultural exposure in the Senuda Manoba tribe. And of course, shown in the picture is one of our top farm tourism destinations, the Taglucop Strawberry Hills Farm in Kitaw-Taw, Bukidnon. So we also have our Misamis Oriental Farm and Cultural Circuit. This is one of our features near the dive sites. There's the Doal Nara Organic Farm. We also have the only tea plantation in the Philippines, the Ulong Tea Plantation in Hingoog City. And then we do have a memorial site for one of the accidents that happened at Cebu Pacific crash site. It's a very nice memorial park. We have the Grove, which is also one of our entertainment facilities. So we also have for Camiguin Island, one of the most popular tourism destinations in the region. We do have our Sun and Beach Circuit, and which includes the White Island, a sandbar, the Mantigay Island, a white island with a forest, which is shown in the picture. We also have our 2 dive resorts, also very ideal for family and sun and beach, the Duca Bay Resort in Medina and the Mantangali Libuag Dive Resort in Balingwan. So for again, for our other province, Misamis Occidental, which is near the Dakak diving site, we have the Misamis Occidental Sun and Beach Circuit, which covers very beautiful white islands, Baobawat Island, which is a 200-hectare mangrove site, Balyanga Protected Landscape and Seascape, and of course the Sapang Dalaga Joyo River Cruise, which is one of our top tourism destinations in our region. In the picture, you can see Morcilliagos Bay. That's a site of our river cruise. And you see a Christ the Redeemer statue inspired by the one in Brazil overlooking the bay. Okay, we also have our Cagayan de Oro, Bukidnon Ecotourism and Adventure Circuit. We are known for our adventure tourism. We have our whitewater rafting in Cagayan de Oro, which is Cagayan de Oro is known as the whitewater rafting capital of the Philippines. We also have Dahilayan Adventure Park, home of the Asia's second longest dual zipline. And we also have Campo Juan Adventure Park, and we have a vertical bivouac in Quezon, Bukidnon. So we also have the Miss or Lanao del Norte Ecotourism and Adventure Circuit. Lanao del Norte is also known for its waterfalls, the most famous of which is Maria Cristina Falls, shown in the picture, which powers half of Mindanao. We also have the other falls, Tinago, Cathedral Falls, and we have a beautiful protected landscape and seascape, another dive site as well. So for our dive and marine sports tourism circuit, which is one of our most popular attractions now, we have Camiguin Island dive sites, we have Balingwan dive sites, we have Talisayan, Medina, and Hingoog City dive sites. We just discovered the Hingoog City dive sites, and we will show this to you in a while. Okay. So before we show you the, oh, sorry. Okay, we proceed now to Misamis Oriental diving. One of our gems in Misamis Oriental is the Agutayan Marine Sanctuary in Hasaan, Misamis Oriental. There is a white island that is one of also the areas for the site. So surrounding Agutayan Island are 9 dive sites. It is a marine sanctuary. So we have the so-called Sherwood Forest. There are 3 sites. We have the Rock of Life or Dos Rocas, Barracuda Point, 36D, Cozumel, Secret Garden, and Cody's Point. Our speakers will discuss this at length later. But let me share you some of the photos that we have taken in the dive sites. So yes, we do have our race there. This is one was taken by one of our speakers, Mr. Alazegi. And then we also have our macro photography features, of course, our nudibranchs. Okay. At Cody's Point, we do have treasure shark sightings. Scuba de Oro or Mr. Elazigi was the one who took up this picture. So for Duca Bay, we also do have our dive sites. Duca Bay is located in the municipality of Medina. So we have very nice macro photography where our other speaker, I think, has taken some of these photos, and also one of our in-house photographers, Mr. Topo Yasan. So these are some of the creatures that you will find at our dive site. Very popular for macro photographers. For Hingoog City, we just discovered this site. It's an old port. So we did this dive exploration, and we discovered some pretty interesting things underwater. So there's some of the pictures of our nudibranchs and some of the other underwater marine life. Okay, this will be discussed at length later by our speakers. So for Kamikan Island, which is one of our major dive destinations and one of our major tourist attractions. Unfortunately, because of the COVID pandemic, we have closed the island. But according to the governor, we are opening and in the third week of March. So hopefully we can resume the flights from Manila and from Cebu so that we can resume the dive operation. So here are some of the pictures that have been taken by Mr. Bo Mancao, Mr. Noel Guevara, and Mr. Ram Yora during the dive exploration that we conducted there. Okay. I think this will be discussed at length by Mr. Vladimir Lazigili. So we also had the Camiguin Dive Festival, and these were the winners from the last 2 years. So we had over 500 entries, and these emerged as the top 3. This one is for the macro category, the top 3 also. And now that is just a very quick introduction of our region and our dive sites. I am proud to introduce our 2 speakers for today. Mr. Dodong Uy, who is the owner and proprietor of the Mantangale Alibuag Dive Resort. He is one of the pioneers of dive tourism in Region 10 and is operating in the province of Misamis Oriental. Mr. Vladimir Lazigi also is one of our pioneer divers, the dive instructors, and he is also representing Camigan Diving. He is representing our 8 PCSSDA accredited dive operators. So without further ado, I would like to pass you on to our speakers. Thank you very much and maayong hapon sa tanan. Oh, I'm sorry. Before that, sir, we would like to play a video to introduce our region for our dive tourism. Thank you.
Scuba diving for me is a form of a retreat. From the time you get on the boat, you sit down, relax, you feel the early morning breeze, and at the same time, you look at the sunrise, and by the time you descend, you hit the water, you descend, you just hear your bubbles. And then you start to observe the beauty of the ocean. The diving in Region 10 is superb. The first time I dove in Agutayan, I was surprised that it's full of marine life. And then if you look closely, you have critters, you have frogfish, you have different kinds of nudibranchs, the works. It's wild here in Region 10. And it's unique in such a way that even divers from all over the region, seasoned divers, every time they surface, they always say, "Man, that was wild." And it makes you realize that we have a gem in Region 10. Hello, I'm Amir Elazegi, and I'm inviting you to dive Region 10. Visit us, and we'll show you around.
Thank you very much for sharing such a beautiful video and so much information on your region. Even I'm learning so much, and I actually, I'm very surprised because I've been diving around the Philippines and I've heard about Camiguin, but not to this extent, and it's just absolutely beautiful. So I can't wait to go visit. So without further ado, let us move on to the next speaker. I would like to invite somebody who is representing Scuba de Oro Dive Center. Let us welcome Vladimir Alazegi. Did I say it right?
Yeah, you said it right.
Okay, yeah. Welcome.
Thank you very
You're
much,
welcome.
Vanessa. Okay, let's start with the first slide. Okay. Is everyone seeing the first slide? First slide. Go back to the first slide. There you go. Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Camiguin. So this is a picture of the main Camiguin Island at the background, and then at the foreground you have the White Island. So it's a very, very popular tourist destination. And then we move on to the next slide. For the benefit of everyone, just for location, so you have the map of the Philippines, and then the location of Camiguin, you need to tap once. Next slide once. Go back. Sorry. You use your cursor.
Friends, I think you're on presenter view. You have to exit presenter.
So I can access this?
No po. I think he has to change the.
That's okay. That's okay. Okay. And then, okay. So Camiguin, right there, that you can see it. It's being encircled, and it's located in the Bohol Sea. All right, and it's 10 kilometers off the coast of the northern part of Mindanao. And then the island, it has a circumferential highway that is 65 kilometers in length. And then land area of the island is 238 square kilometers. And the population is estimated at a little less than 90,000. Then top one more, okay. And how will you get to Camiguin? If your port of entry is Manila, there are daily flights from Manila to Cebu, then you connect to Camiguin. The flights from Cebu to Camiguin, there are also daily flights, and all flights are operated by Philippine Airlines and Cebu Pacific. All right, next. And then if you want to visit nearby islands like Bohol, or you want to go to the main island of Mindanao, there are ferries available. So Camiguin Island is a very, in terms of proximity, it's near to almost all the places in the Philippines. Next slide. Okay, so this is Camiguin Island. So as you can see, there are 5 major towns or 5 main town centers in the island. So we have Mambahaw, and then you have Mahinog, Ginsiliban, Sagay, and Katarman. Okay, and then it's nice to note that these municipalities or these towns, they have their respective marine protected areas. And these marine protected areas are available to the divers. We can dive there. And in terms of macro photography, these are excellent sites. And since it's very near the shore, night diving is less than a hassle. You don't have to get on a boat and travel far to go night diving. And then next, you have 3 sites outside of, off the coast of Camiguin. You have 2 shoals. You have Higdup, Burias, and then you have Mantigue Island, which is very popular to tourists. And then farther eastward, you have the White Island or the Sandbar. It's also a very popular destination, and it has dive sites as well. So next slide, we go to Mantigue. So that's an aerial shot of Mantigue Island, and that small boat right there is our dive boat. Okay, and in front of the island, that's the marine protected area. So since it's protected, fish density is better. You'll have schools of jacks and lots of turtles. And then the pointed one of the island is what we call the turtle point. So on a good diving day, you'll have at least 18 to 20 green sea turtles either sleeping or just munching on the corals. Next slide. So you have spadefish. Next slide. And then in the marine sanctuary, you'll have schools of drummers, jacks, Sometimes you'll see hunting barracuda waiting for their meal. Then we go to another dive site. Next slide. This is in Burias. Burias is 15 minutes away from Camiguin Island. Next slide. Because of its location, it's off the coast. Water movement is very interesting. Every time we dive, current is always at moderate to strong. So if you want to take a good photo, then all we have to do is get on to those coral heads and hide behind those coral heads so you won't get blown away by the current. And because of the water movement, I think it's not a protected area, but then it's teeming with life. I'm guessing it's because of the nutrients being brought by the current. Next slide. There, those are coral heads where you can dive or you can hide from the current. And also we also practice a very good photography etiquette wherein we really try hard not to let our guest divers kneel on the corals. Next slide. And then here, another feature of Buria Shoal is its strong current. So when we descend, we use the anchor line as our descent lines. Otherwise, we won't be able to reach the bottom. Next slide. There. Next slide. Next slide. Next slide, please. Sorry. Can you still hear me?
Hello, yes, we can hear you.
Okay, sorry.
Yes. I
Sorry.
think
I think there's a technical glitch. Give me a second.
No problem. No problem.
Vladimir, so I'm very surprised. It's the first time I'm seeing photos of scuba diving in the underwater world, and I did not imagine how beautiful it is.
It is, and the best time to dive in Camiguin as well as here in Misamis Oriental in terms of visibility, it's from May until around November. So
Oh,
good
wow.
visibility is around from 18 meters to 25 meters.
Oh, that's not bad at all. And I really like the dive site that you mentioned with strong current. I really need to go visit that. Okay.
Yeah, it's a very interesting dive site. So here, this is a picture of Higdup Shoal. That's from Buria Shoal. You travel to Higdup. You travel northeast, 30 minutes away, and then it's quite different from Burias because Burias is sloping. This one, it's a wall dive, and one may need 2 to 3 dives to navigate the whole wall. It's very interesting. And then like Burias, this is an unprotected area, but still we see a lot of marine life. Next slide. So one interesting feature of the wall is there are a lot of names that's similar to it. We call it the hole in the wall. And it's a nice spot to take photos. You have the blue water as your background and you have the corals in your foreground. Next slide. All right, that's another photo of the hole in the wall. Next slide. Okay, next we go to, I've highlighted Balbagon Port. Balbagon Port is a local port in Camiguin that services the ferry that goes to Bohol. Okay, it's very interesting because the first time we dove there, the maximum depth was just 8 meters, and yet we saw a lot of life in that dive. So we spent around 2 hours underwater just shooting, and I will say that it was my first time to see a flamboyant cuttlefish in that area. So that area is so special for me. And in terms of bonfire photography, it's also a good spot. And next slide would show you some shots taken by Mr. Ram Yoro. Next slide, doing bonfire photography. Then next slide. There. So it's really interesting. And it is just like 8 meters depth. And it's very near the resort. It's like probably less than 100 meters from the shore. All right. Next slide. And just a brief background on the dive center. Scuba de Oro, we started operating in 2008 in Cagayan de Oro. And then last year, we opened in Camiguin. So we have been operating in Camigan no, not last year, but in 2018. We opened in July 2018 until COVID struck. So we were able to operate in Camiguin for 8 months. And hopefully we have word from the governor that the island will open again to tourism by the 3rd week of March. Of course, with the usual health and safety guidelines. So that's a dive shop. Next slide. So that's the view of the ocean. So the dive shop is on the right side. So we have a pool, and then it's a nice resort. It's a nice resort. I hope it also opens by March when the island opens. The next slide, just to show you some divers that we did their discover scuba diving. And then if you notice at the background, that's our dive boat. So the dive boat it's a huge dive boat, but we just limit our divers to a maximum of 15 divers on the boat, just to have enough space where we can eat comfortably and then rest during surface times comfortably. And then next we will be showing you a very short video on Camiguin underwater. Sorry, on the hashtag feel Camiguin, if you move your cursor, you'll see an arrow, a play sign. So you need to do that. Sorry, Vanessa.
No, not a problem.
There you again go to the hashtag feel Camiguin.
I think we have El France will actually, while El France is putting up your video, maybe I can ask you some more questions.
No problem.
So far among all the sites you've shared, what is your favorite?
For me, it's Buria Shoal, the one that's sloping, because of the one that you mentioned, the one with the strong current.
Ooh, same.
It's always, and I mean, if there's a slight current, then you can move around. But if the current is so strong, all you have to do is just stay on the bottom, get into a huge coral head, and then for 50 minutes, just watch life pass by, and it's really interesting. Yeah.
You know, I've just wow. And you know, I'm seeing in your slides that Ram and Bo have gone there and have actually been doing bonfire, and you know, it's so nice to hear that you guys have already been exploring in that sense. Right? Have you guys been doing Blackwater in that area as well?
Blackwater, not yet.
Hopefully. I mean, when this opens up, perhaps I'll invite some people. We'll try some Blackwater in your area.
And then also, just nice to mention, before COVID struck in Buria Shoal, in that shoal that we were talking about, at 42 meters, I've seen a drop off.
Yes.
So it's also a very interesting spot to do a technical dive and just look around.
And you guys have the facilities to have these technical divers come over?
Yes, we have. I can guide technical divers. Yeah.
Look at me! Wow. Okay, so
yep, the technical glitch settled. We can actually play the video now.
All right. Thank you very much. It's very short, just 2 minutes.
Okay.
Thank you for the time, everyone.
Thank you very much. We have some questions for you, for everyone later, but before that, we start with the Q&A. I just want to remind everyone, if there are more questions that you want us to discuss later, please put it on the chat box or in the Q&A area. Other than that, we have another speaker lined up, and then after that, we're going to bring up all your questions. So may we call on a representative from Mantangale? Is that correct? Just correct me if I'm wrong. Matangale Alibuag. Matangale Alibuag.
Yes,
Right?
ma'am.
Dive
Yes, ma'am.
center. Yes. I love the name. It's very unique. Okay, so may we welcome Dong Dong Uy. Welcome.
Thank you very much. May hapon sa tanan. My name is Dodong Uy. I represent Mantangali Alibuag Dive Resort. Our resort is located in Barangay Mantangali. It's an hour and a half away from Butuan and 2 hours away from Cagayan de Oro. We started in 1994. We are the longest surviving dive resort in the area and also the first PADI accredited dive resort. We have been diving this area for almost 3 decades now. And we are experiencing very sketchy internet signal here. So I would like to ask 5 minutes from you guys, 5 minutes of your precious time to watch our short unedited video of our resort. I'm not going to talk about the dive sites anymore since Amir have covered everything. Let me just show you our resort. Please, admin, please upload our video since our internet signal here is kind of sketchy. Thank you very much.
I am Nana Uy. Our resort is located in Barangay Mantangale, Balingwan, Misamis, Oriental, Philippines. We have been operational for almost 27 years. We opened around 1994 and have been a PADI Dive Resort member since 2000 to the help of Alvin Naku. We are the only PADI Dive Resort in Northern Mindanao. Welcome to Mantangale. This is our restaurant. We mainly serve international and local cuisines. And these are our waiters. Two of our waiters, Roy and Ayan, they've been with us for more than 10 years now. Wow, over here you'll find our best-selling killer burger. Here's our pool where we conduct our confined water training.
To the kitchen. These are our cooks.
This is our orchid garden wherein we have around 50 species of local and hybrid orchids. Our mini forest as one of our conservation efforts in the resort. Welcome to our garden suite. It's one of our best-selling rooms in the resort. It has 2 queen-size beds and pull-out beds for additional persons. Standard room for 2 persons. This is our presidential suite. It's a 2-bedroom unit. Here you'll find a master's bedroom, the veranda overlooking the sea and our fish pond. You'll find the 2nd bedroom of the presidential suite. Here's our ocean suite. Welcome to our dive shop. Here is our filling station. We both fill air and nitrox, and we are the only nitrox for free dive resort in the region. As you can see, we have yoke tanks, but we can also provide DIN adapter if you need one.
Hello, this is our dive boat, Mantangale. She is a 42-foot fiberglass Rob Shirley designed dive boat. It has set up with 2 outboard motors, 2 boarding ladders, with a capacity of 20 divers. Inside has 20 total tank racks, small toilet. It's a fly bridge setup.
Thank you for your time. Hope you enjoyed our short documentation of the resort, and see you. We hope to dive with you soon. I'd like to thank also the Department of Tourism Region 10 for giving us this opportunity to promote diving within Camiguin and Misamis Oriental. To Regional Director Ming Chuan, thank you very much for being so supportive, dynamic, energetic, and the only diving Regional Director of the Tourism Department.
Thank you for sharing. Dodong, sorry, you're on mute. Yes. Thank you for sharing that, Dodong. It was very nice to see how everything is over there.
You're welcome, ma'am.
Is there anything you want to add before we move on to the Q&A?
There's a video that's going to be shown. It's taken by Topo. Are you ready, Topo? Are you ready to share your video?
Sorry, please, yeah, there we go. Okay, that is so amazing. There is you guys have so much good material on about your area, and you guys should just share it, and everyone is so excited. That's amazing. So again, if anyone has questions, please don't forget to type them. For all the speakers, if you guys can look through the chat box, there are people requesting for your presentation. So if you guys can grab the emails, and so that people can receive your decks and your videos for, of course, promoting the tourism. Okay, now if there are no more questions, let me ask a few for myself, just to clarify it for everyone, Director. When will people be able to, or let's say the domestic market from Manila, be able to travel to you?
Well, actually right now, Misamis Oriental is already open. So we have 2 dive resorts that are accredited with us, the Department of Tourism. One is the Mantangale Dive Resort with Sir Dodong, and the other one is Duca Bay, which we also showed some of the dive sites that were featured in the video. Camiguin, I just talked to the governor, will be opening on the 3rd week of March.
Oh, wow.
However, yes, the requirements for arrival, because for Misamis Oriental, you can either arrive at the Butuan Airport or the Laguindingan Airport, that's in Cagayan de Oro, Misamis Oriental. It's still the PCR test that is required. And but that's actually about it. No? And they can actually ask for assistance from our office. And if they do engage with the dive operators and the dive resort, we can help in assisting the guests who will arrive. So the local government units for Misamis Oriental are very much open already to divers coming in. However, yeah, for Camiguin, we still have to be on standby because they are putting up a PCR testing center on the island. And we're also actually trying to work with the Tourism Promotions Board, who can subsidize the PCR tests as well, so that it won't be too expensive when our tourists come.
Thank you very much for that information. So everyone, you can actually already reach out to these establishments and already make a booking for the summer. The goal would be that they would open by this summer. So hopefully we will all see you there, and I will be able to see you there. Other than that, I just want to ask, I saw a bit of free diving. We get questions. Do you guys offer free diving classes by AIDA or anything in either of your establishments?
There's a free diving shop in Camigan. It's the only free diving shop, and yeah, they offer free diving classes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. And a few things maybe I can hear from Sir Dodong. What is the perfect season in terms of weather to come visit your area?
Well, it's the same as what Amir have said. I would highly recommend May until 2nd week of November. That's the best time to come here. After that, it's just
bad visibility.
Yeah, and
very cold.
Topside weather conditions are not really ideal for diving.
Okay, thank you. Noted on that. Yeah, so again, I am wow. As a diver, I am just so surprised because I did not expect this. And, I've known about the location, I've heard about the location, but it's my first time seeing it. So hopefully I get to see it in person. Our international guests who have attended get to visit soon. And especially us locals domestically coming from Manila and different places. Yes, so thank you to our 3 speakers. We would like to thank you for taking time. And we hope to see you in person. So thank you very much. Bye.
You're welcome. Bye-bye. Dodong.